Hey Book Dragons, Xiaomi from Xiaomi's Book Tales here, and today I wanted to revive a series that I used to have on my channel. Now henceforth I think I only did one video based on the 5 reasons to read X or Y book, but I really wanted to bring this series back just because I have a lot of books that I really want to share the love for those books, and I am going to veer this more towards like tropes, aspects from the story that are really important for me in order to, you know, be selling pitches for the book. So that's how I'm going to pitch it to you, maybe a little bit from the synopsis, but I just want to give you an overview as to why you should definitely pick up these books. And because of the title and also the thumbnail, you already know that I have chosen The Marvelers by Danielle Clayton. This is a middle grade debut fantasy adventure, and I want to make it clear that it isn't debut because it's the first book released by the author. It's just the first book released in a middle grade series. So why don't we just get right into this as to why you should definitely pick up The Marvelers by Danielle Clayton, because I absolutely adored this book and I want to fangirl with more people. First of all, if you want to pick up a book of a magical training institute set in the sky with amazing boarding school representation, especially the magical curriculum woven into the narrative of the story and how immersive and unique all the words and just the creation of these words jumbled together was just simply marvelous. Like, there were so many times where I was just like, I really want to go to this place. Like, I really want to go to this place. So definitely it is immersive. You feel like you're part of the story and you just want to go to this magical boarding school with all these other students. Another aspect from this story that had me drawn into the world in general as well was how inclusive it was, not only with the culture but also the food. Like, it was so fascinating. It doesn't matter where you're from, what country, what specific place you're in, it felt like you were seen, it felt like you were there. So I think that for middle graders, for young readers, is just a plus to include with any book, because it makes you feel like you're seen, like you're a part of this world. Like, you can be in any magical world or any magical fantasy going on an adventure with other characters. You can feel like you're there, and that simply is amazing to see in any middle grade fantasy or in any book in general. If you also love the found family trope with complex characters, every single one of them, Ella, Bridget, Jason, they were all such complex characters that you can tell throughout the narrative of the story that little bits and pieces are being foreshadowed, and you know that there's something more than just meets the eye, especially in that third act when so many revelations are being given. And I have to admit, my jaw definitely dropped, because we also have Ella, who's part of Conjure Magic, and this is the first year within the story that Conjure Magic has been opened in the Arcanum Training Institute, because some things that happened in the past, Conjure Magic is seen or deemed as bad and unnatural. But Ella is the first to basically come back into the Arcanum Institute and practice magic or conjure magic along with the Marvellian world. So this also creates a lot of tension between the family, between the magical world within the story. Also the fact that we have an escape criminal who's very notorious, and we get little perspectives from this said criminal, and we're like, wait, what's happening here? Especially from said criminal who used conjure magic in order to escape the prison. And this is also where Ella is being thrusted into the action, and we get to see how is it that Ella wants to prove that her family is not what everybody else says. Her family is not the one who's at fault for everything that has been happening for conjure magic and also for conjure folk. So I think that's really amazing to actually include conjure magic along with other magical systems, because we do have different paragons within the boarding school, and at the end of their first year is where they're actually situated into which paragon they actually fall under. So again, going back into the found family trope, I found it interesting and just fascinating. How is it that these three just, you know, got together, and how is it that even though there are so many differences from every single one of them, how is it that they banded together? Especially Bridget, we have if you love to weave, we have a character who does weave magic, which I think that's fascinating in of itself. You know, she does knit, so that's funny, and I loved it because I used to knit but I just couldn't, I stopped. We also have another character, which is Jason, who loves animals, and obviously Ella, who uses conjure magic. Another element that I'm also always drawn into the story is how we have probably a protective mentor slash teacher, and here we have one who I freaking adored. I'm not going to tell you who it is because I want you to read it and actually discover who this mentor slash teacher is. I thought that he was just such a beautiful and amazing character, and how much he defended conjure magic, how much he defended being unique and being different within this world. And just because something is seen as bad, something is seen as unnatural, and just because you don't know how to explain it doesn't mean that this person is bad, doesn't mean that everything that has happened in the past we have to taint said person. Just because they are part of the conjure magic, they are part of the conjure folk, doesn't mean that they have to be aligned with everything that has been stated previously about this person. We have to give these people a chance as well. We have to get to know them. We have to get to know what conjure magic is and not see it as unnatural. So I thought that that was something that was beautiful. There are also a lot of quotes that this specific character mentioned that I literally fangirled over, because they were just so beautiful and so loving. And this is where it leads me into the descriptive writing, and how is it that the author tackled some very serious issues, how this emphasis on what is racism, on what is bigotry, on what is bullying towards, you know, these kids in general, how is it that they are bullying one another, and how these topics were well written and how they were well handled. So I think that that's just really amazing, how real life situations are being woven into the story, but they're also being well written. You know, they are being included, but in a way that a middle grade student can also adapt to and also assimilate. So again, I did mention how the descriptive writing, especially with the world in general, how it was immersive, but I also thought that all the quotes that are being woven within the story, how it makes you again unique, how it makes you not question who you are but accept who you are. I think all those topics, all those themes that were being woven into the story, I think Danielle Clayton did a great and marvelous and just amazing job. See what I did there, you know? But anyways, I love this book so much. I highly recommend people to read it because it is just such a great story. So yeah, those are my 5 reasons why you should definitely pick up The Marvelers by Danielle Clayton. I think it's an amazing middle grade fantasy debut, and I just can't wait for the next installment in the series. If you want to pick up this book, or you think about picking it up, then let me know. We'll chit chat a conversation up about books. But I want to say thank you for watching. I hope that you have an amazing day or night, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.